Man, it is difficult sometimes to show up in the morning 4, 5, 6 days a week to begin another off season or training. I'm the head coach of a youth team over here, U19. It's also like a high school age team if you're from the States. And we lost on Saturday in the first round of the playoffs, and it's really been bugging me, So it's always good to exercise. I think when you're feeling down, I think that's probably the most important thing to do for your mentality. I know I've been a little depressed, and getting out there with the guys always feels good. But man, it's hard to show up. We work out normally at like 10 in the morning, and it's always good to have a group of guys around when you're trying to do this, because obviously sometimes it's not easy to motivate yourself to show up and do oftentimes the same thing over and over and over again, week in and week out. Like just for example, these hurdles, this is something that we do every time we show up. Tony, Ali, and Paul are new to training with me and Max, but this is something that we've done all last year, and we still continue to do it. It's just really good for building your hip muscles back up and flexibility and mobility for sprinting, because obviously speed kills. Tony has a lot of experience in training as a college football player, so a lot of this stuff isn't new for him, but guys like Ali, it's stuff that they've never really done before. I'm so much older than these guys. I think Ali's like 21 years old, and I'm 35, so you just kind of get an idea of the difference and experience and the amount of time that I've been doing it versus some of these other guys. But we always, start with the hurdles. Well, after we do a warm up and some type of form running workout, and then we get into some jumping stuff just to try to be explosive. Try to wake up your body a little bit. We compete against each other. Like for instance, with the broad jumps, Zimmerman is the champ. He's almost jumping 10 yards on the triple broad jump. But it's fun because we're out there together, working out and pushing each other, and that's what it's all about. And it's very difficult to do on your own. It takes a lot of discipline to do something like that on your own, and so I'm really blessed to have a group of guys that want to show up also in the morning and try to work towards a common goal, because we did just move up to the first league in Germany, and we want to win a German Bowl. I mean, the Adler, we've gone from third to second to first league in consecutive years, and the goal is high. We have the coaches. We're hopefully going to have the players to do it, and the time starts now. We can't wait until 2022 to start grinding. It's got to start right now. The season just ended, and you just got to get back into it. And as I said in the video before, it's easier to stay in shape than to try to get back into shape. But a lot of these guys, dude, it's not their job. For me, I'm lucky in Zimmerman where this is our job, and you have to perform. You have to show up and perform, or it's going to be someone else's job if you don't. But as I said, doing a lot of the same things over and over again, repetition is the father of learning. And these pogo jumps to sprints, or however you want to call it, is something that we do often also too. It's just kind of popping your hips, getting your toes up, dorsal flexion until you tighten up, and then hitting into a good rhythm for a 20-yard sprint. And Zimmerman, Ali, a few other guys on our team, they're going to go to, I think, Braunschweig this weekend, and they're going to try out for the German national team. So we're here doing 40 starts, which is, as a 35-year-old quarterback, I have zero interest in my 40. But for these guys, it's important, and they want to continue to get better. And obviously, this is something to the younger athletes that are still trying to prove themselves or to catch someone's eye. The 40 is a measurement that a lot of people in football go by. And so here you see Ali setting up continuously. It's actually pretty funny watching the 40 starts, because it's such a thing for people. And then you see me, I just kind of put my ass up and go, because it's just not something that I'm focused on right now. I probably could have tucked my chin right there a little bit more and not stood straight up and dig for 20 yards. And right here you can see Tony. Tony really knows what he's doing. I'm not I never ran track. I never did anything like that. I was a lacrosse player in the spring, so it's always interesting to see guys in their routines in the 40 star. You can see Zimmerman right here, man. This is really precise stuff. I mean, this is a whole ritual, and I hope it pays off. I hope that he knocks a few tenths off of his 40. But yeah, but at the same time, we're out here, we're talking shit to each other, man. We're pushing each other, saying, no, I'm faster than you, and it's always something that is a lot of fun. And I just continue to make these videos basically to show you guys what we do every day, because a lot of people that are Adler fans or football fans in general, you only see what goes on game day, and you don't see all the work that goes in the off season or leading up to that moment when you're on the field. And it's kind of something with the youth guys that I've been struggling with. I wish I could do a better job getting the thought process across to them that you gotta work on your craft. Speaking of just losing in this playoff game, that we made so many mistakes where these guys are surprised when you lose a game, and sitting there as someone who's played football for 27 years of my life, you're not out there working every day trying to prevent that poor performance. You're not throwing 100 hitches or staying after practice working on your back pedal, or all the stuff that's important to preventing a poor performance on game day, because there is no reset button. You don't get another chance. There's no reload and run that play again like you do in practice. It's there. All the rehearsal is done, and it's just you got to fall back in your training, and your training has to be consistent, and you got to work hard. And if you don't work hard, man, don't be surprised when you fall short of your goals, But anyways, we did some one-on-ones at the end of the day. I'm not a receiver. Zimmerman's not a DB. Tony's the only real DB we have out here today. You can see he lines up more properly, and Zimmerman's obviously a receiver, and there's Zimmerman's brother Paul, who's also a quarterback, who's trying to get back into the flow. He had been out of the game for a couple of years due to injury. But you got to get out there and just have some fun, man. These aren't the best reps. This isn't this is us having fun, talking shit, running some bullshit routes sometimes. But we're out there and we're moving around and we're reacting, and we're having fun, and maybe we're getting a little bit better at some things along the way, but we're just trying to get back into the groove, getting ready for what's coming in 2022, because it's gonna be a major challenge, but it's one that we're up for. I hope that our group grows a little bit, and we can kind of I don't know how to say it. We can give other people the bug, the itch, the desire to show up and get better. And we don't want guys that just show up once, twice a week. I mean, you got to be there every fucking time we're out there working out, or you're never going to get better. You can't be a part-time guy once a week and expect full-time results. It's just not, it's not reality, But yeah, I just kind of went on a little rant, but I'm going to talk more and more, I think, in videos just to allow the people that are tuning in to get more of the mindset or the thought process behind what we're doing. because maybe sometimes you think we're just filming workouts and running, and it seems to be the same thing all the time, but it's not. We're getting a little bit better every time we get out there, and that's pretty much the goal. Is if you can get 1% better every time you get out there, then you had a productive day. And not every day is going to be productive, but the important part is that you keep coming back, because eventually these days are over where you can't be a top athlete or whatever you want to be physically, because time is against you. I'm 35 and I'm probably on the back end of my playing career, but guys like Ali and Paul, they're younger, man. They have a lot of years ahead of them if they want, and it's just a choice. Oftentimes the hardest part of working out or getting to the field and doing running is just getting your ass through the door. Once you get yourself there, it's go time, and it's even better when you got a group of guys to grind with you along the way. So thanks guys for watching.